Hello, everyone. This is Dailey from Healing Heart Reiki, and today I'm here with Melissa Maskell, Reiki Master and Grief Guide. We are coming together to talk a little bit about what keeps practitioners going, the ritual that keeps practitioners going when it's tough, you know? So, welcome, Melissa. It's nice to see you.
Thank you for having me, Daily. I'm excited to be in this space with you today.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we've been talking for like the last half hour practically. So just like going over all of the tech just to be transparent to everyone. So I'm really excited to have you on today because I know that you're actually going to be hosting the Reiki Share at Healing Heart Reiki this Saturday. I have to go out of town, unfortunately, but I've known you for a while and I know you have your own practice and your hands are all over in the Reiki world. So I feel really thankful for that. But I'm curious, like we were just talking about this morning, like what are the rituals? What are the things that, like, there's so much happening in the world right now. Like, what is it that helps you to stay connected to your Reiki energy and to your motivation and the work that you do?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I will be transparent and honest. There is an ebb and a flow, just like life and other, the balance and the routine. Sometimes things get a little off balance and tilted. And when I feel that that has come up in my life, I'm reminded to go back to the basics,
Yeah.
the original OG, tried and true tips, tricks, and methods that laid the foundation of my practice. And it's really simple. There's some 7-minute meditations that I've held on to that, I'm allowed to tap into that energy, lay hands on myself in a, quick and easy flow, and it's enough to activate that balance back. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to show up as it is when it is. And
Mm.
there's some other important routines too. For example, just drinking water. I realize
Yeah.
when I'm
Totally.
hydrated, I'm a way better Reiki practitioner.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
basic nourishment from the inside and the out, and it's also
Yeah.
having this conversation,
Mm.
this connection, talking about energy healing, talking about emotions, and flowing through them in community, not in my head.
Yeah.
Um, it's part of how I really maintain that Reiki channel.
Yeah. I mean, I so feel that. Like, I mean, the water is a big one. Like, I have noticed just we can't like run energy all the time and then be fielding all of this media and stimulation, and that causes our brain to fire. We're like a constantly moving electrical system. And if we don't have just water, like things start to die. Like, it's right. So, that one is always so huge, and I wasn't even thinking about that earlier, but it's big. And I'm the same as you. Like I think just for me, I am really creative in the things that I do, and I'm sort of all over the place, and it really helps for me just to hear other people's processes and to have real conversations and to connect. So, yeah, that's big. That's really big. Now, I mean, for me, one of the things, like if I was being asked that question, the share, like having a regular share over the past, I mean, it's been wow, 18 years since well, I started my Reiki Healing Heart Reiki practice 18 years ago, but I think it's probably been like 17 years of doing the share. I don't know. And I have to say that even though I've had chunks of time where I haven't done it, it has been incredibly stabilizing and it inspires me to just see people and reconnect with that energy. What kind of experience has Reiki shares been for you? Like, I know you've been to more than just one, you know. how does that signify in your practice?
Um,
Do you enjoy them? Do you notice?
yes. And just like I was saying before, there in the beginning of my practice, I probably didn't miss a Reiki share for a year
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
I was committed. And it was a time in my learning journey where I could come in community with other Reiki masters and of all, or, Reiki one, just all these different techniques and tools, and just witnessing other people
Hmm.
space with their love and compassion and the energy that's filled up in that room. It gave me the, like, I don't know, like motivation and energy to continue. And then there's people that I was like excited to look forward to seeing next
Yeah.
month. They would
Yeah.
be there. And I met really good friends, like lifelong friends, no joke,
Yeah.
from showing up and being a part of a community of healers. And it's just a bonus that we get healed while we're there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I feel the same. Like, I see people make lifelong friends all the time in our Reiki shares, like it's like that first spark, and I'm like, oh, there's one. I know they're going to be connecting in another year still, and it's like a really special thing. But um, I love hearing that you showed up so regularly. I mean, I know I've been around, but sometimes I forget these things, I'm not like looking like, is Melissa coming to all of the shares or anything, right? Like, and there are just so many shares out there. I know that several Reiki masters that are really committed go to multiple shares throughout the month just to keep that energy going. For me, I've always told students that at least two shares in the year will just majorly up level your confidence and your ability to hold the transmission, right? Like, but yeah, there are some great share memories.
And the cool part was, like you said, you had a group of people that had got together regularly for their share, and then you opened the dialogue for inviting others. And then I had another group of people that I would go to. So I was going to like two shares a month and
Yeah,
really absorbing everything.
yeah,
And they were both lovely. There was just different people that attended, and there was different like activity beforehand, and it was all beautiful. But yeah, I just absorbed it like a sponge, and I can't, recommend doing that enough, especially if
yeah.
you're curious.
Yeah, and a lot of people tell me like they're really struggling health wise or they're going through things, and I'm always like, I always feel like for most people, the share is a great way to receive that energy if you really need it. And at least in our space, like I think it's good to both give and receive, and I think it bolsters confidence and reminds us sometimes when we're just going through things and that we're not broken, you know what I mean? Or like if we are, we're broken open, that we can feel like, oh, I'm just so low vibe, I shouldn't touch anyone. And I think that that is really unfortunate, right? Like we need to the hands-on touch and being a part of a community, being able to be who you are and still be witnessed and cared for, like those are such healing medicines for all of us, and we especially need that now with things going. But I know for me, like I've been to a lot of different types of shares, and then there's still a bunch of shares I've never attended. I remember in one, the woman that arranged it had it in like a dark space, tables laid out with huge chunks of selenite crystal beneath each table, and like soft kind of like magical. It wasn't the classic new agey, but it was like some kind of like mystical music. And this wasn't part of it, but like the room had these long, sheer white curtains along one wall. And so every time I think of that share, I just remember the long curtains and these huge crystals. And she really held this space for like the Reiki energy as well as like grounding into the selenite transmissions. And I just thought that was like the most creative thing, you know? I tried it under our tables for a share for like a month and I was like, yeah, I love it. It's not me. Like I do like putting things under the tables, but I just wasn't consistent, you know. So,
I'll share another memory,
mhm.
high point of a share. It was the conversation that happened after the share.
Ooh,
And there was a woman who I would say her name, but I don't want to put her on blast right now. But I just really respected her, her wisdom, her abilities, and there was an opportunity for us to actually be at the same table. And I was like, oh, awesome, I get to be with you. And then afterwards, we debriefed, and she's like, you know, girl, you're great. You just got to get out of your head.
ooh,
I was
yeah.
like, huh. And that stuck. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. So it was you just kind of moving aside
Yeah.
and letting it just flow.
Yes.
And it was just one of those
Yeah.
bits of information that somebody said at the right time to me that was impactful and that you can't, put a price tag on or
I
buy
think
or
those are the
recreate.
moments. Yeah, like we need that. I've spoken to a lot of people this month who were really bowled over by some of what was in the news, you know, and I've had a lot of different conversations with people about how to really just kind of protect your energy space. And remember, like our brains aren't really meant to take on all of the news of all of the world like before 9 a.m., you know? And that really, the more we can focus on the things that we decide matter, like all of it's important, but like what can you control? What can you respond to, right? And interact with? And that may be local politics, it may be a few national things, and the people that we love that are right around us. I think that is strengthening for us. But you know, like the shares for me, having a monthly Reiki share to attend or host or visit, there's just the transmission of energy. Like earlier in this call, you talked about how for you going back to the basics can actually just be exactly what you need when you're feeling off course or funky or whatever. I'm the same. You know, I often like retake core classes. I'll just go back and take Reiki 2 again or Reiki 1 again, with the same people if I love them, with different people. But I also feel like the share space is that kind of basic space, you know, where we can be reminded of what matters, which is love and connection and accountability and communication. So.
So important.
So, I know we're kind of running out of time and that you have things to do and I have things to do. I want to ask you just one or two more questions, if that's okay. Um,
It is okay. And I do want to make space because in the beginning, when we were speaking, you were teasing me with maybe a little prayer, meditation. Maybe
oh,
you can send us
yes.
out with that,
Yeah. Yeah.
please.
How about we
Okay,
close with that? So I'll
that
ask you one
sounds
more
great.
question.
All
So,
right.
I know like we just jumped in. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
we did. But it worked
so,
out.
yeah. So, I know that in addition to Reiki, and you've been doing Reiki for quite a time, and it's been incredible. I love just witnessing people in the community and like how they work with the energy because it's never the same, right? And in your case, I've really enjoyed watching you dive more deeply into grief and grief work and presencing around how we hold and process and deal with the feelings that don't always feel so well that we want to discount. I don't know if there's anything that's just been top of mind for you on that topic lately, or if anything you want to share about that.
Yes, thank you for giving me the opportunity. It has been a very heavy time, and we always think of grief as like the big D. Somebody's got to die for us to acknowledge or get paid days off for the emotional toll that it really takes on our heart and on our mind and on our physical body. And so with all of the sadness that we've collectively been experiencing, there's this unease and uncertainty. And it's not ever going to be the way it used to be. And there's change, there's such constant change. And our minds, our bodies, our human spirit was never designed to be in this current of change at this rate. And so coming together in community and having a space to actually grieve the
Mhm.
heaviness and talk about your fears, your angers, your disappointments,
Yeah.
and in a safe space where people can actively listen and not try to fix, change, analyze, try to prescribe you anything. That's a really important part of grieving. And I think that we used to do this like
Mhm.
a long time ago,
Yeah.
and we got away from it with the way that society is. And we need a space to say what's on our heart and say what's not fair and what we want to change and be a
Yeah.
part of that change together in a collective way and coming from a space of love.
Yeah, our society doesn't teach us grief. We don't learn how to process and be with grief or be with each other, even during, like, we don't learn it in school. Maybe if we're lucky, we have parents or loved ones that teach us or that we're able to witness them. But I've spoken to quite a few people just in the last few months that have said very interesting things to me about how they respond to grief in community and the grief that they witness with others. And it's highlighted for me that we need more space to just share around this topic, right? So I'm so glad that you could plug some of that into this conversation, because when we're talking about practitioners and keeping going, like, what throws us off? I mean, there's so many different things, and often there's this element, I think, of needing to make space for that and grieve. Reiki helps us to connect with that, like, we don't want to bypass the grief. We do want to enjoy and focus on the love and the joy, but part of that is being really deeply present with what's uncomfortable, right? And I know with a lot of practitioners, like, there can be fear or shame or things that they did wrong or things they don't understand or life crises, imposter feelings, like all this stuff that's like, so intense. And I think we have to, like, remember how human we are, and that that's part of our superpower. When we Reiki power activate, like, we're also just like these beautiful, vulnerable humans, just trying to learn from each other, right? So thank you for this. I love this, presencing the awareness of grief into this as well. So, well, I find myself wanting to go off on all kinds of other topics. So I know that means it's time for us to close off for now. So how about we do a Reiki prayer, or blessing to do so? Do you want to lead it? Shall I? How you feeling?
Oh, I would really love to listen to you this morning. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So, for you and for anybody who's catching the replay, feet flat on the floor if you can, or crisscross applesauce. Um, and bringing hands to either gasho, so that we've got the mudra that helps align our center line, or heart, whichever feels best. And you're welcome to open or close your eyes, and just taking a breath in. And as you exhale, imagining that breath moving down your body, all the way through your feet, and allowing your own energy, your own spirit of you, to come back down into your shoulders, your head, your shoulders, your belly, and your hips and feet. Breathing yourself in, and inviting your mind to relax. We welcome Reiki life force energy, this beautiful healing light, to come down, to pour down through our crown, into our system. And we invite softness, the softening and the love that's within us to blossom open. And if that feels hard this morning, just think of maybe a time where you felt really safe or loved, or where you just loved. Like I think of my little terrorizing cat, little black fur ball of joy and sometimes pain. He's a biter, but it just fills my heart and it opens me up, you know. Or I think of Yosemite being out in the trees and grass. Just allowing your heart to soften, welcoming light in. We welcome the light, 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 light. And we welcome our angels, guardian angels, and our Reiki Master guides, including our Reiki lineage. We give thanks for our ability to love, to connect, to grow. And just for today, we tap into our ability to transform. We remember that with every step that we take out into the world, we are change makers. We are the light. We are wisdom. We are love. We are connection. Let us be steady on our path. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you. And so it is. You can open your eyes. Thank you, Melissa, for joining me. Thank you, thank you. And I guess it's time to go. I will see you soon. I'm sorry to miss the share. Just for anybody who is local, we will be meeting well, Melissa will be hosting space in Petaluma this Saturday, February 5th. Oh, wait, 7th? Yeah, I went backwards there. February 7th at 10 a.m. And you can find the registration for that on my website at santarosareiki.com. Okay. Thank you, Melissa. And where can we find you if we want more information about you?
I'm at Melissa Maskell, griefsupport.com.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. We will talk again soon. Bye.
Bye.